from the start of the COVID crisis, the Arts Council's objective was to protect jobs and livelihoods of artists and arts workers and to help arts organisations that were in financial difficulty. Brightening Air has been part of that. So artists have helped us to get through the crisis, and that was in an online environment. And now with Brightening Air, there was an opportunity to meet again, outdoors and online. So it's part of saying, look, COVID mightn't be over, but we're coming through the worst of it. With Brightening Air, it was about stepping out again, and I suppose part of it for artists was to re-engage with their audiences as well.
So what we wanted to do was create a platform and an arena in which artists could create work safely and whereby audiences could access those events safely, whether that was in person, through very small-scale events, or online. It was a signal of hope. It was to say artistic expression is still out there, and even though it's really hard for artists to create work, look at what they're doing, you know, despite these really challenging times. So it was for audiences to be soothed and comforted and entertained and engaged by the arts. And that happened in multiple locations, whether that was on your doorstep in Cork as part of Arts Gifts, whether it was on an island off the west coast watching Arash Arish. So it was really to say, look, every corner of Ireland that you look at is pulsing with activity here, despite the adverse environment in which it's operating right now.
Because one of the things that we wanted to do with the project was reach people who had maybe never come to the festival before and maybe might experience it for the first time. And we couldn't have done this without Brightening Air. It really enabled us to bring live performances back to audiences.
I think what Brightening Air did, particularly in 2021, as this year, as we were coming out of this pandemic stage, it really created a space that we can both reflect and both be positive space for the future as well.
We've been in kind of a very long, dark winter and now emerging out into hopefully something a bit brighter.
I think it's valuable to bring those kind of experiences to people who may well be overlooked, you know, as cultural sites start to reopen, as exhibitions and galleries are like in full flow again, and theatre experiences. People who don't normally access these kind of things.
What Brightening Air, when that programme was announced and applications became open, allowed us to look at, could this work in the Brightening Air context, and could we think ambitiously about how we might go add to that initial idea and to make it more available to a wider part of the public. It is only because of something like Brightening Air, Cushcane Cullig and the Arts Council that we would be able to do something like this.
This has allowed us to have a bit of legacy and to tour and to bring it to communities like this, to show people who might not go to the theatre very often or might not see a lot of Irish language work.
When the opportunity for the Brightening Air application came about, we said, here's our opportunity to do something really ambitious, especially during a time when our doors are closed in Wexford Arts Centre, that we can connect with the community outdoors.
I've been to a lot of light festivals, I've been involved in light festivals, seen light art, but it's generally in populations of cities and it's not really out in the public realm. So I thought it was a really good approach to bring the artwork to the people.
A significant programme like this in such an important time in Ireland in the arts it was a huge opportunity for us, and given that artists, you know, and arts organisations have suffered, I think, in not being able to create work. So we're privileged and honoured to be a part of this programme actually.
It's just been so much fun to be part of it. So huge thanks to Brightening Air and the Arts Council for the opportunity.
Light Ballet was designed to go to people and to their communities, not the other way around. And I think Brightening Air have done that really well. We had a message from a lady that lived in East Clare thanking us for bringing Light Ballet to her actual doorstep. She said it's not often that you would get the opportunity to get front row seats to a national cultural programme like this. So I think that's exactly what Brightening Air is about, and I think that's exactly what they've achieved.